Welcome to the Deep Dive. Are you ready to dive into the world of mosquitoes?
Oh, absolutely.
All right, great. Today we'll be exploring an episode of SmartPodcast. It takes a look at these tiny creatures and, well, it kind of reveals just how fascinating their history is.
Yeah.
And, they actually have a really important role in our ecosystem. So Get ready. You might learn some stuff you never knew.
I love that.
I'm excited for this one.
Me too.
It's amazing how we often overlook just how complex these little creatures are. Mosquitoes, for instance.
Yeah, they've been around, for like over 100 million years.
Wow.
Buzzing around, even in the age of the dinosaurs.
That's incredible. So they were around with T-Rex.
Oh, yeah.
It makes you think, how have they adapted and survived through all these changes on Earth?
I mean, their adaptability is key.
Yeah.
They've evolved to thrive in so many different environments.
Right.
Like, tropical rainforests to even like the Arctic tundras.
Wow.
And their feeding strategy, what's annoying to us?
Yes.
It's incredibly efficient.
Yeah. Speaking of that annoying feeding strategy, we all know that itchy feeling after a mosquito bite.
Yeah.
But what's actually happening in our bodies that causes that?
It's actually not the bite itself.
Oh.
It's our immune system.
Okay.
Responding to the mosquito saliva.
Oh, so it's like an allergic reaction or something?
Kinda.
Yeah.
So when a mosquito bites us, it, injects saliva to prevent our blood from clotting.
Oh, okay.
And that saliva triggers an allergic reaction in us, causing that redness, that swelling.
Yeah.
And that just irresistible urge to scratch.
So it's like our body's waging war on these tiny invaders.
Yeah, precisely. And the more you scratch, the more you spread the saliva, which just makes that reaction worse.
Okay, so that explains why it's so hard to resist.
Yeah.
But sometimes, like SmartPodcast says, we just have to put up with them.
Yeah, it's true. Sometimes tolerance is the best strategy, I guess.
Right.
But when it comes to mosquitoes, there's another layer, right?
Uh-huh.
They can be dangerous.
Oh, right.
They're known to carry diseases like malaria,
Oh, yeah.
dengue fever, and the Zika virus.
Dengue fever, that's also known as breakbone fever, right?
Yes.
I've heard that one is particularly awful.
Yeah, it can be extremely painful. It causes debilitating muscle and joint pain.
Wow.
It's a really serious health concern in many parts of the world.
Yeah, it is. It's scary to think that something that small can pack such a punch.
Yeah.
But I'm relieved to know that they don't transmit HIV or AIDS, right?
That's right. Yeah, that was a misconception that caused a lot of fear.
Right.
But scientific evidence has debunked that myth.
Good. That's good to hear. All right, so I'm ready for some more of those mind-blowing mosquito facts.
Okay, hit me.
SmartPodcast mentioned a surprising number of different mosquito species.
Oh, yeah, there's actually like over 3,000 types of mosquitoes.
Wow.
Worldwide, each with its own unique characteristics, and adaptations.
3,000. I had no idea there was such variety. It makes you wonder about the diversity of life on Earth. What else makes these little guys so fascinating?
Well, how about this? A single mosquito can drink up to 3 times its weight.
What?
In blood.
3 times their weight. That's insane. I guess you could say they're incredibly efficient at what they do.
Yeah.
Even if we don't appreciate it.
Yeah, it's a testament to their specialized feeding mechanisms.
Yeah.
And, their role in the ecosystem.
Okay, so knowing how dangerous and annoying they can be, what can we do to protect ourselves?
Well, there's a bunch of things.
Yeah.
Covering up.
Okay.
With long sleeves and pants, especially at dawn and dusk.
Right.
That's when they're most active.
Right.
That can reduce the chances of being bitten.
Makes sense. And of course, there's mosquito repellent, which is a must-have for me.
Absolutely, yeah. Repellents containing DET are really effective.
Okay.
And if you're traveling to areas with a high risk of mosquito-borne diseases, sleeping under a mosquito net is crucial.
Right. And I've always heard that getting rid of standing water around your home is important too.
That's right, yeah. Mosquitoes breed in standing water. So emptying out, flower pots, buckets, or any containers that can collect water can help reduce their population.
So it's all about taking preventative measures to minimize the risk. But here's something that surprised me. SmartPodcast emphasized that mosquitoes actually play a vital role in the ecosystem.
It's true.
Really?
As much as we dislike them, they're a food source for a lot of different animals. Frogs, birds, bats, fish.
That's a really important point. It's easy to forget that even creatures we consider pests have a place,
Exactly. Eliminating them could have unintended consequences for the balance of the ecosystem.
Yeah, it's about finding that balance, right?
Yeah.
Managing their populations where they pose a threat,
Right.
but also recognizing their ecological importance.
Yeah. I think that's a key takeaway,
Yeah.
It's about understanding the complexities and, figuring out ways to coexist.
With mosquitoes, even though we don't really love them.
Yeah, even if they're not our favorite neighbors?
Well, after learning all of this, I have to admit, I'm starting to see mosquitoes in a new light.
Yeah.
They're not just annoying pests. They're, ancient survivors.
Yeah.
With a fascinating history and a complex role in the natural world.
It's amazing what a little deep dive can reveal, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's like we've gone from swatting at shadows to seeing the whole picture.
Right. And that understanding can help us, approach these creatures with more awareness and maybe even a touch of respect.
I like that. So what are some of the key things we've learned today that we want our listeners to walk away with?
Well, first, their ancient lineage, they've been around for over 100 million years. They were around when the dinosaurs were around.
That's definitely one for the Did You Know file.
Okay. And then there's the sheer variety. Over 3,000 different species, each with its own story.
And let's not forget their impressive and slightly disturbing blood-sucking capabilities.
3 times their body weight? It's pretty remarkable.
But perhaps the most important takeaway is that mosquitoes are more than just pests, right?
Right.
They're integral parts of the ecosystem. And understanding their role can help us find ways to coexist with them in a more balanced way.
Well said. It's a reminder that even the smallest creatures can have a significant impact, and that knowledge is key to fostering a healthier relationship with the natural world.
I couldn't agree more. So for our listeners out there, the next time you hear that telltale buzz, maybe instead of reaching for the fly swatter, take a moment to appreciate the complex and fascinating world of the mosquito.
It's a shift in perspective, for sure, from annoyance to appreciation, or at least understanding.
Exactly. And maybe, just maybe, that understanding will make those itchy bites a tiny bit more bearable.
Perhaps. Or at least it will give you something to ponder while you're reaching for the bug spray.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of mosquitoes. We hope you learned something new and maybe even developed a newfound appreciation for these tiny but mighty creatures. It's been a pleasure exploring with you. Until next time,
Yeah.
keep those questions coming and keep diving deep.
It's funny. We might end up thanking a mosquito for helping the ecosystem.
Yeah?
But meanwhile, we're scratching at a bite.
Right.
It's definitely a complex relationship
Yeah, for sure.
that we have with these little creatures, and that's what makes this deep dive so interesting, right? It's not just learning facts,
Right,
it's
yeah.
like shifting our whole perspective.
Exactly. Yeah, it's about, understanding how everything in nature is connected
Yeah.
and realizing that even the creatures that we think are annoying actually have a purpose.
So next time you're out, in nature,
Yeah.
and you hear that buzzing,
That familiar buzz.
remember that mosquito
Uh-huh.
has a story.
It's a story of survival and adaptation.
Yeah.
And a really important role in keeping our ecosystem in balance.
Maybe we can all learn a little something,
I think so.
from their resilience and ability to adapt.
Definitely. I think that's a great takeaway from our deep dive into the world of mosquitoes.
Well, on that note, we want to thank you all for joining us on this journey of discovery. We hope you learned something new today and maybe even developed a new appreciation for these tiny but mighty creatures.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure exploring with you.
Yeah, it has been fun.
Until next time, keep those questions coming.
Yeah, and keep diving deep.